Dr. N. Sabat Lakshmi, Associate Professor and HOD of Commerce, ADM College for Women, Autonomous Nagapattinam. I am going to present the topic on market segmentation. In market segmentation, I am going to discuss the following things, namely criteria for effective segmentation, types or basis for segmenting the markets, and benefits of market segmentation. First of all, let me explain the term market segmentation. Market segmentation is the process of taking a total market and dividing the market into several sub-markets, each of which tends to be homogeneous. So, when we take the heterogeneous market, the market comprises of differing age groups, sex, differing persons from different income, occupation category and so on. Then we divide the market into sub-markets which is of homogeneous in nature. Here, I would like to tell the definition given by William J. Stanton. William J. Stanton defines market segmentation as the taking the total heterogeneous market for a product and dividing it into several sub-markets or segments, each of which tends to be homogeneous in all aspects. So when we take the total market, it is only heterogeneous, but after the market segmentation is over, it becomes homogeneous. Now let me explain the different types of market segmentation. Market segmentation may be of the following categories, namely geographic segmentation, demographic segmentation, behavioral segmentation, and psychographic segmentation. Geographic segmentation means we are dividing the market into several geographic units. For example, in the category nations, states, regions, cities, etc. When we take India, in our country, we got rural area, we got urban area and semi-urban area. In rural area, the consumers or the customers who are staying in the rural area are usually not choosy, they are not innovative, and that is one market. And the next one is urban market, and another one is semi-urban market. And here we can have the following categories also. In the basis of region, we can have north market or east market or west market or south market. Then depending upon the city size, we can have big cities, small cities and towns. And regarding density, I told you already, the market may be urban or rural. So we are dividing the market on the basis of the geographical units, and it is called geographic segmentation. The next one is demographic segmentation. So demography actually means it is population and distribution of population. The study of population and distribution of population is called demography. Here we have a lot of demographic variables like age, gender, marital status, family size, income, religion, race, occupation, nationality, etc. So these are some of the demographic variables. So when you take age is one of the important factor in segmenting the market, because different age and life cycle come together. For example, single with a dependent, single not staying in home, and young married staying in home, and young married having no children, and young married having children below the age of 6, and young married having the children above the age of 6, and older with no children, and older with children, and older living alone. So these are number of categories in the life cycle. So the segmentation differs depending upon the age and life cycle. For example, the individuals the buying pattern or buying behavior of the individuals single may differ from those of aged people. For example, individuals they prefer to want to go movies, they want to spend lot on recreation, and they want to spend lot on games, sports, and etc. But when you take up the old category, they want to spend more on medicines. They want to go for temples only, and they want to spend more money on medicines and all that. So depending upon this category, the segmentation may differ. So this is one of the very important criteria or variable in demographic segmentation. And next one is sex. Sex is the important market for segmenting the market. See, in the case of sex, males and female fall under the category, and female market is different and male market is also different. In the case of females, the textile market has got significance, and also hairdressing, and also their recreation, their hobbies, their jewelry. So all these things are different. So we have to differentiate both men and women, and this market is also a significant market for segmenting the market, because the marketers are concentrating this sex market as an important market for segmenting criteria. Then income. When we talk about income, depending upon the income only, the buying behavior and buying motives will differ. In the case of income category, we can have high income, middle income, low income category, or even in middle income we can have high middle income. So all these categories we have, and the buying pattern will also differ upon the income of the individuals. For example, two persons when we analyze the buying pattern of two persons, one person is occupying the post of CEO in a very big company, multinational company, means he will go to vacation to a foreign country, and he will go for recreation to some very big theatres or malls and so on. But when you take the category of a ordinary clerk who is employed in a government undertaking or in a small company, he will go to nearby places only for his recreation, and he will carry only his lunch box for his dinner and all that. So depending upon the income also, the segmentation may differ, and occupation also, and education. So we got two categories here, educated and uneducated. So educated people, they will do, they will have lot of income. They will also placed in a very big post. So that pattern will be different from those who are not educated. So education is one of the important criteria, and marital status, that is married and unmarried. So the behavior or segmentation may also differ from marital status, unmarried and married. So their behavior will be different. And family size. Family size is another important, very important criteria in market segmentation. For example, if the size of the family is 1, the segmentation will be different. And if the family size is only 2, husband and wife, it will be different. And husband and wife with 1 children, husband and wife with two children or 3 children. So depending upon the size of the family, 3, 4, 5, etc., the market segmentation can be done. And next one is behavioral segmentation. Behavioral segmentation is done on the basis of the audience behavior, usage, preference, choices, and decision making. The audience can be segmented on the following categories. That is, those who know about the product, those who don't know about the product, ex-users, potential users, current users, and first-time users. So on the basis of these things also, because those who know about the product, they will have a lot of ideas, and selection will be done by analyzing everything, analyzing the product, about the package, about the price, and features, etc. But those who don't know about the product, the segmentation may be different. And ex-users, those who have used the product previously, and potential users, in the sense those who will have the capacity or have intention to buy in future, that is what is called potential users, and current users who are using currently, and first time users. So on the basis of these audience also, the market is being segmented, which is called behavioral segmentation. Next one is psychographic segmentation. Psychographic segmentation divides the audience on the basis of personality and lifestyle. And the personality in the case means it has got individuals' distinctive characters and includes habits, traits, attitude, temperament, etc. So, lifestyle is how a person lives his life. So, personality and lifestyle influence the buying decision and habits of a person to a great extent. So, when we analyze the personality factors of an individual, prestige, so to prove his prestige, he will go and buy certain commodities. So, the market should be concentrating on the segmentation also. Prestige, for example, a person will have a Maruti car, or a person may also have a that is Benz car. So that is Benz is a status symbol. So prestige is one of the important factor, and sociability and self-confidence, how he is self-motivated and he is having confidence and achievement. So all these factors are coming under personality factors. And lifestyle. In lifestyle, there is one this criteria called AIO, that is activities, interest and opinions. That is under activities we have that is hobbies, work, clubs, entertainment, sports and shopping. And interest in job, or it may be on food or media. So what food he is interested, and in what media he is interested, and what is his job. So all these things come under the lifestyle category, which is called interest. And opinions, that is opinion about politics or about education or about culture. So these things called the personality, lifestyle and attitude form the psychographic segmentation. And another one, which is called criteria for effective market segmentation. Criteria, certain things have to be followed to make the market segmentation very effective. They are measurable and obtainable, which is called measurable means the market should be capable of measurable and obtainable in terms of data. For example, when you take an automobile market, it is motivated by number of factors such as economy, status, quality, etc. So economy in the sense whether they got the purchasing power to buy the commodity or not, and status symbol, and quality also they aim. So these factors should be capable of measurement. Economy should be measured, status and also quality. So all these things should be measured. So it is called obtainable and measurable. Then relevance. Relevancy in the sense the size and profit potential of a market segment has to be large enough to economically justify separate marketing activities for this segment. So if it is very small in size, we can't justify it. So it should be sufficient enough to justify, and we can also have the relevancy. Then only we can have the justification. And next one, accessible. Accessible means the market should be servable for the organization. That is, they can be accessed through various target group, specific advertising media such as magazines or websites, and the target audience likes to use. Then substantial. Substantial in the sense the segment should be substantial to generate required returns. And unique, the segment should also be unique in nature, that is distinguishable or differentiable. If it is not so, we can't have the market segmentation effectively. Then appropriate, the segment should be appropriate depending upon the objectives of the organization. Because whenever we have a market segmentation, this segmentation should come with or should be in alliance with the objectives of the enterprise. If the objectives are different and market segmentation is also somewhat different, then we can achieve the objectives. So depending upon the objectives and resources available, for example, main material and machines available, we got to segment the market. Then stable, the market should be stable, so that we can have the sufficient degree of confidence. It should not be flux, it should not be that is volatile, or it should not be dynamic, that is changing from time to time. It should be stable and actionable or feasible. It has to be possible to approach each segment with a particular marketing program. The segments that a company wishes to pursue must be actionable in the sense that there should be sufficient finance personnel and capacity. Hence, depending upon the reach of the company, the segments must be selected. That is what is called feasibility. And finally, nature of demand. Nature of demand refers to the different quantities demanded by various segments. So, one segment what is the quantity required by one segment and what is the quantity required by another segment. So, nature of demand is very important, because only based upon the demand we have to plan our production, we have to go for marketing, and we have to go for distribution channels, pricing and everything. So, nature of demand is also very important, and so these factors should be considered in market segmentation. Then significance of market segmentation. Market segmentation improves campaign performance. Campaign performance in the sense we have to target the right people with right messaging at the right time. That is very important. If we are contacting the wrong people at the right time or wrong at the right time, wrong people, both are very utter waste. So we have to contact or we have to target the right people and at the right time, and the messaging should also be done rightly. So whatever we are passing, the message should be done, correct messaging should be done. So then only we can have the audience, and then only we can better tailor the messaging to the preferences and needs of the customers. And informs product development. So product development should be informed, and it is possible only by market segmentation. Market segmentation can help the companies to develop products that better meet the needs of the customers. For example, you take the automobile company, and if the primary market segment is middle class people or families, we can design the car with a lot of seating and space to accommodate a family and multiple kids. So we have to create mid-range priced vehicles. But on the other hand, another segment which is families, they want to go only for outdoors vacations. They usually go only for outdoors. When there is any vacation, for example in foreign countries and all that, if there is any vacation, they will definitely go for vacations. Even in Saturday and Sunday, they go for vacations. So in this category, to appeal to this group, we have to offer a vehicle with four-wheeler drive with lots of cargo space, because they will take lot of things also. So in that way we have to design. And another segment might prefer to take trips into the city. In this case, the car should be smaller, so that the drivers can easily navigate narrow city streets and fit into the tight parking spots. So product development is very important, and informations regarding the product development can be done very easily by way of market segmentation, and reveals areas to expand. So market segmentation can help business to identify the segments which they are not currently reaching with their marketing efforts, and then expand into new markets. For example, a company might make the majority of the sales in physical stores. When looking at behavioral data, they might see that many of the customers like to shop online. So based on this information, we can go for online store and in the marketplace, and improves business focus. Marketing also helps to establish a brand identity and specialize in a particular type of products. So for example, books means we concentrate on books. If it is for children, we concentrate on books, and the children will prefer to buy a particular set of books. So it creates brand identity and brand loyalty also, the particular group, and informs other business decisions. Market segmentation helps to inform other marketing decisions also. For example, companies can also decide which stores to pitch their products to based on where their market segment shops. Their customers may, for example, shop at luxury boutiques or bargain outlets. Looking at geographical data can also help company decide where to set up a new store. So it is helpful in minimizing the losses also. For example, when we segment the market, if for example in the case of a shoe market, we are segmenting the market, means the market for women, shoe market for men, shoe market for women, or shoe market for children. If we are having a loss in one market, it can be offset from the profit from other markets. So this minimizing the losses can be done by market segmentation and better allocation of resources. So we have to allocate the resources, men, money, materials and machines properly to all the segments. So it can also be done by factory segmentation. and better assessment of weaknesses and strengths of competitors. So by segmenting the markets, we are able to know the strength and weaknesses of the competitors. For example, SWOT analysis, what is the strength, what is the weaknesses, and what is the opportunity and threat for us, and how we can improve. So we can know well about the competitors' reactions, how they are reacting, what they are doing, how they are doing. So when we are able to know, and we can better assess the weaknesses and strength of the competitors, and we can plan our strategy, marketing strategy.